Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for tuning in. So I haven't done this in a long time, but this will be actually a final app that I just finished yesterday, just finished today actually. And I just wanted to show you because I implemented a lot of things that I didn't did before in FlutterFlow, and I simply did it because I didn't need it. But this time there was a client who actually wanted a lot of things that I wanted to do, that he wanted me to do. So that's why I had to work with things that I was not working before, and I did a lot of things that I think it's very valuable, and it's very good actually to know uh, those things in FlutterFlow. So consider most of those things to be advanced. I will not go into details about built-in FlutterFlow features because you can already get a lot of information because there are a lot of videos and online, and you can get it from the docs. But today, let me zoom in a little bit. But today, what we are actually, what we will actually talk about, we'll talk about an app that I did for Yettel. Yettel, for those that they don't know, it's a Bulgarian mobile company. So they're like O2 or I don't know, like all the major. In Bulgaria, we have only three major companies, and Yettel is one of them. It's a company for, um, as I said, for mobile services. They provide mobile services in Bulgaria. So I did this. This is actually a web app. Uh, so this is a web app, but it simply can be used for mobile or for tablets. And no, it's mixed because it will be used in a tablet, and then it will be um, it will be on the web version. It will be screened on a TV, um, on a Christmas tree. So this is a Christmas app. The idea of the app is actually to have to say what you're going to do for Christmas, and then you have five choices, and then you can you have to register your name, your email, sorry, your name, your phone, and then you register, and then you can win some prize. So what we're talking about today is some major things that I just wrote over here. So first thing, we'll talk about how to register users without Firebase Auth. I put it register in quotes because it's not a real register. It's just somehow to know the users and that this user exists. But I'll show you this. And then the other thing, it's how to dynamically refresh a screen when something is changed on another screen. So I had a problems with that because the whole idea is that when someone comes to the tablet, so you can imagine that there is a tablet on the street. There is a huge screen on a Christmas tree that when someone submit what they wish to do or what they are going to do for Christmas, and they submit this, as I said, they have five choices, and when they submit something from those five choices, you can actually see the submission using Lottie animation on the big screen. So the whole idea is that when something change on one screen, to see the update on the other screen. So I'll show you how you can do this as well. And then we have the cloud, the word cloud. So the word cloud, we actually had it like, I think, three different types of word cloud before the client decided which one is best for them and which one suits them best. So I will show you two of the two, or maybe, yeah, I'll show you the two of them, and then finally they decided they will only use five predefined phrases, and that's why we did it. At the end of the day, we did it with Lottie animations. But I'll show you this as well, how to do Lottie animations. And then we have the shuffle list and choose a winner. So you can imagine that we have a list of users, and then these users, there should be a button. There is a button that when it's pressed, all the users are starting to shuffling, so you can see the names of the users shuffling. And then when you press a button again, there is one winner that is selected from all the people. So the other thing that they wanted me to do is actually to download all the list of winners, and they should be able to download it in case they need it. And after that, so there is a functionality to download the collection as the whole collection from Firebase as a SCV file. And after they download the file, they can delete all the data from all the collections. And after that, they can start to go in another city, because the whole idea is that they will go in one city, they will do this game, they will collect users, and they will go to another city. So that's why they need a way to delete all the data that they already have. But before that, as I said, they can download it. And the final thing, I think the most interesting one, is that thanks to this app, and thanks to Josh actually, and thanks to FlutterFlow team, now we managed to figure out how you can actually take a document from a custom action. I put this in the last place. This is the most important thing, if you ask me, for all the users from FlutterFlow, because before that, you were not able to take an information from the backend using FlutterFlow and then do something on page load when you load the page. This was not possible before, but right now it's possible, and I'm super grateful that we managed to do this, and I'll show you how you can do it as well. So let's begin. First thing first, let me show you the actual app. So this is the app. Sorry, it looks not very good on a big screen, because this should be optimized for a tablet. I'm not sure if I actually change this like this. Probably it will look a little bit better. And I put as I'll try to put it as a tablet, which I'm not sure which is which, but nevertheless, let's do it this way. So at the beginning, sorry, it's in Bulgarian, but you get the idea. So at the beginning, you have one button, which is essentially say start. This is you probably don't see this animation, but let me just let me real quickly try to change this. So let me do it this way. So okay, wait a second, bear with me. Okay, so now you should be able to see the whole screen. So yeah, this is the beginning of the app, and it says, what do you want to do for Christmas? And you have 5 choices. You want to spend the time with family, you want to make a wish come true, you want to call your grandparents, you want to make something good, or you want to spend time with your friends. And you have 5 different choices. We actually, at the beginning, there was actually another idea, everyone to actually write what they want. We have a predefined words. They were only words. We had a predefined words, but they actually scrapped this idea, and they went with the predefined choices. I think I deleted the idea that we had before, which was with the words only. But the whole idea is that it was you had a text field, and then inside this text field you had the words, and you can start typing those words, and you can type words on your own, or you can choose words that are already predefined. It's super easy to do this. By the way, you only had in the text field, I will not mess with this app because this app is currently working, but I can just show you. When you have a text field, you have this option which is autocomplete. So just if you enable this option, you'll be able to get the data from the local state or from Firebase or from Apico. So that's how I did it. I actually had something more specific, which was to actually choose only words that are coming from the list. So after that, they decided they want only the words that are predefined to come from this list. So if there was a word that it's typed in the text field and was not already there, it should give an error. So that's why I actually did this custom function, which is actually only checking a list does not contains. So it's checking if the list of strings, so we have a list of strings and we have a word, and the typed word, it is checking if it's not, if it doesn't contains in the list. So if it doesn't contains, it's actually returned true. So if it doesn't contains on the list, it will give an error. That was my idea. So that's why I did it. This is the code again. If you want to use it, you can just write it on your own. And then let's go over here. So here the idea is that we have a button over here, but right now it's not active. So when you go to choice, this is the button that it's not active. How I managed to do this is I have a conditional visibility. So when I click conditional visibility, I have the radio button, and this is set to custom state. So I have the custom state, it's set to the radio button, and I have, of course, this is in a condition. So you have to, in the end of the day, you have to use it in a condition. So choose condition, single condition, and then you can choose the radio button or like this. So state radio button, and then here you have to use is set, and it's not empty. I already did that, so I'm not doing this again. But the whole idea is that if this is not checked, then don't show the button, because of course users have to first check and then submit their answers. So for example, let's say that I submit this one, you can see the button is now clearly seen, so I can choose whatever I want to. Now let's say I choose this one and I choose continue. So if I continue, right now it says look at the tree, look at the Christmas tree. So let's say that let me open you the actual Christmas tree. So this is the actual Christmas tree, and so yeah, sorry, this is the actual Christmas tree. So those are the 5 predefined options. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see actually they're a little bit moving. This is all done by Lottie animation, and this is actually, I did it together with a friend of mine who is actually a UX and web and print designer, and he's actually a great guy, and he's actually if you want to hire him for FlutterFlow projects, he's actually, for me, he is one of the best, and he have a ton of apps that he already created, and he's doing more, as you can see. So if you like the design, as I said, the design you can actually see, because this is this is optimized for tablet, and I'm currently opening it in the browser, so that's why. So when you choose one of the 5 choices you have, this is actually the 5 choices that you have, and this is the screen that I said that it is actually changing when you choose something. So for example, when I go back, I will try to simulate this. When I go back, when I choose right now, you can see the screen. And when I choose, for example, this option, which is I'll call my friends and choose continue, it will actively, it should active, yeah, it's reloading, and it says, okay, you choose this one, you call your friends, that's great. And then it's doing this animation, and then it's hiding back, and it's showing all the words that all the phrases that are already chosen. Those phrases are actually changing by the type who is first. So right now, the family one is the first one, but if the friends one is this one. If the friends one is first, it will change with the family, and they will change, and the friends one will be bigger. So if more people are voting for the family, for example, it will be the first one. But if more people are voting for or choosing friends, the friends one will be here. I will show you, as I said, I will show you how I did all the application. This is also a Lottie animation. And then when you're good to go, and when you say, okay, this is my choice, let's register. So let's register, and here I can say, like, this is like a demo test user, and the mobile phone will be this one over here. So when I click continue, I register this user. No, I'm not registered, sorry. I will just, there was a confirmation, and I say, okay, are you sure this is your name, and are you sure this is your phone number? If you're not sure, you can click on this button, which says is edit your details, so you can see your details are saved. And if you click over here again, you can see your details. And if you say, okay, that's me, let's agree, and you say, okay, I agree. And when you say I agree, there is snowing falling. This is Lottie animation again. And then the user that it's or the employee of Yettel that is using the tablet can choose another user, and this another user can start all over again. There is on the left bar here, on the bottom left here, you can see there's an icon here, so you can press this icon, and you're actually able to go to the admin panel. And the admin panel, there's the interesting part where you can see all the registered users. You can download the SCV file, and you can delete the data. You can delete the data from all the data, actually, from all the collections. And here I'm using only 2 collections, but you can delete as many collections as you want. And then here, if you click this button, you're actually redirected to the screen, which will be cast in the Christmas tree, because there should be a way to actually be redirected to this screen. And it's opening actually on the new tab, because they actually asked us that this should be open in a new tab and not in the same tab. And then the interesting part also is that there is this shuffling thing. So when you have all the registered users, so for example here 64. So when you have all the 64 people, and then decide, okay, let's vote, let's draw some users. So if I start this button, it will actually mix all the people that that were registered, all the 64 people, and that were all the 63 people, actually, because there's 1 people that's already drawn. And when you click over here, you can say, okay, this is this guy won. And when you go over here, you can actually see that this guy won. And you can delete it. You can also say, okay, there was mistake. This guy, it's not one, or we cannot find this guy in the audience, or wherever, so on and so forth. You can actually delete this over here. So this is how you choose a user, how you shuffle the user, and how you can delete after that the user. And this is all about that and how it looks like. So let me show you how I actually create it. So if we go over here, this is the main screen. This screen is only have a button which is redirected to the choose one. The choose one I already show you this button. The interesting part is about this button over here, that it's only visible when something is chosen from over here. So I already show you that. And the next page we have is the page that it says look at the Christmas tree, which is a super simple page. You only have, the only thing that you have over here is the register button, which is redirecting you to this page over here. And here you can register. So maybe the interesting part is that I'm saving the words that they choose or the phrases that they choose in the local state. So if you go over here, you can see that I'm saving the words in the local state. And I'm also and I also have a function which is actually making the strings to lowercase. So this is very simple function. It says I'm getting the input. This is a no safety check, and I'm getting the input, and I'm just saying to lowercase. Why I'm doing that? Because if I compare after that the strings, it's easier to be lowercase, because some people can enter it with uppercase, some people can enter with lowercase, and so on and so forth. So it's basically, in general, it's a good idea to do them only in lowercase. And then I'm saving this in the local state, so which word they actually chose. And after that, I have the so let's continue. Let's continue and go to the registration. Sorry. So in the registration, I'm also doing the same thing. So in the registration, I'm also saving. So first of all, I'm checking if the form is valid. I can do this if I wrap all the things in the form widget, which can actually, I can implement here if the minimum characters are this, get this, show this error, or if the maximum are more than maximum, show this error, and text validator, and so on and so forth. So first of all, as I said, I'm checking if if the form is submitted correctly, and then I'm storing the name and I'm storing the phone number to the local state, and I'm redirecting to confirmation. So when I go to confirmation, I have this edit button. So when this edit button is clicked, what I'm doing, I'm simply navigating back. So why I'm doing this, because when I navigate back, I will keep the data that's already selected over here, and this field will be populated like I show you in the actual app. So that's why I'm doing this. So this is simple action, which says navigating back. So when I go over here, this is where the magic happens. It's actually, I'm creating the user. So when I said that creating the users without registration is actually this part over here. And this is actually how it's done, or how I'm using this. I have a collection called users, and here in the users, I have display name, phone number, created time, winner, and I'm storing the word. I'm also storing the winner, and I'm saying winner it's false, because this user, when the register is user, of course he is not a winner, and it's very important to actually store this, because after that, later I'm filtering the data, and when you're actually filtering the data, you need this field to be populated, or else it will not work. So if you have fields that you're going to use, even if the for example, even if the boolean it's false, it's always a good practice to store them, and when you're creating a document, to be false as well. And then I'm also creating the words collection. So I have another collection which is words, and I have the actual word, the phone number of the user, the user itself, the name of the user itself. Actually, this is a reference to the user. And then I have the date, time, and the name of the user. Why I'm storing the name and the phone in two different collections and not only one. It was actually easier for me because this is a relatively small application, but with a lot of functionality. But it was easier for me to just store them over here, because when I'm drawing the user, I want to be able to display this information, because I'm using custom code. I'm using a lot of custom code over here, so that's why it's simpler to not write the custom code and instead of that to just get this data from over here. So the magic is that the display name is coming from the local state, the phone number is coming from the local state, and the actual word itself is coming from the local state as well, because the user is going from through the pages, and when they actually confirm that they want to register, that's when it's actually creating the documents. Before that, it's only stored in the local state, and this is simpler and this is easier, because if something change, I will only change the things in the local state. I don't change the information in the local state and not the information in Firebase. This is good for also reading, writing, so you don't have a lot of reader writes in your Firebase. And also, if you use application, it's the same thing. I used for this particular application, I use Firebase because I have a super simple data here, and as I said, I have only 2 collections, so it's not worth to use your own API over here in your own database, because this FlutterFlow is working great for this app and this kind of data. When you go actually to the confirm, here's there is only one Lottie animation that is interesting. Probably it's all the Lottie animations are actually stored on the in local, so there are assets that are coming from the project assets that are coming from the assets. The only Lottie animations that are network animations are actually on the screen words 2, which is the screen that it's showing on the tree, the Christmas tree, and that's the only thing that is like that. So this is actually the Christmas tree, and the only thing that is why we do it like that is that you cannot actually change the assets using code. So that's why, first of all, I was thinking that I would change this. I'll change this this Lottie animation, this path, but then I saw that for some reason in FlutterFlow right now you cannot actually change the network of the Lottie animations using using this predefined, or not predefined, but using code. So if you set from variable, it's not working. For some reason, it's not working. I tried with the local state, I tried with Firebase, it's not working. So so the next page is the admin page. The admin page is I can show you some interesting things that you can actually see on the admin page. But before that, let me show you the dynamic refresh. So let's refresh. What's the whole idea here? So we have this this screen over here, and then this screen is actually as I said, load all the time. I cannot show you 2 screens at the same time, I believe, right now, but you get the idea. This is the screen that's on the Christmas tree, and then when someone comes and then choose some option, you can go over here. This is the screen, and you can see the screen automatically refreshes, and you can see the option that was actually chosen. And then you can see it briefly, and then you can see all the options that were before. If the option that were chosen went to be higher, so it went to be more the most chosen one, it will be changed it will be displayed over here. So let's go to this dynamic screen, and let me show you how we actually did it, how I actually did it. So if I go, the most important part here is that if I go to the on action load, so if I open the action flow editor, we have on action load, and on action load is loading every time a page loads. This is what it loads. You can load, of course, wherever you want to. But in my case, I'm loading the start periodic action, which is actually a new action in FlutterFlow, and this action can actually help you to do actions by the interval, the time interval. So in my case, I'm doing the time interval of 1 second, almost 1 second, because 1 second will be 1000 milliseconds, but I'm doing 1100 milliseconds, but this is roughly 1 second. So every second, I'm telling this action, I'm telling all the action over here actually to perform again. And my first action is get doc. So my first action over here is that I'm getting a document from local state. As you can see here, I'm getting this document, which is I'm getting this document, which is actually a document reference, and this document reference is coming from the init load reference. And I'm I'm getting this to actually see if the screen is already updated. So where do I use that? So it's a doc reference reload screen, and if I go over here, which is when someone choose something, so if I go over here where someone choose something, and I go over to the update local state, so you can see over here, sorry, it's not update local state, it's this update document, and this is initial load refresh. So this is the reload. So it's saying let's reload this page equals to true, and then this is the word that is actually have to show in the Christmas screen. So when it says reload this page, it goes over here on this screen. So this screen, it's load like constantly on the screen, as I said. And when you go to action flow, it's checking whether it's actually getting the document, and it's checking whether it's actually a custom action. So let's go. Yeah, we'll go at the end of the video about the custom action, but this custom action is basically taking the action from the FlutterFlow. It's getting the document from the FlutterFlow, because in order to know if this is true or not, I cannot do it from the local state, because the local state, the difference between local state and Firebase is that local state are only updated locally, or locally on the page. So for example, if I click over here and click continue, if I use the local state to update this screen over here, the true or false that I'm using, it will only affect this screen over here. It will not affect this screen over here. So the whole idea is that you have to use it with Firebase. But before that, before this custom action that is taking a document, you needed actually to do it with the backend. But if you do it from the backend, so for example, let's say you have this example, you try this way, you have the words list of documents, and then when you go to actions, and when you click on the action, and when you try to actually use, so let's say for example, I have an action over here, and let's say for example, I want to have an access to the words that I just show you. There is no way actually you can have an access to this. There is no possible way because FlutterFlow is not allowing you to do this. So if I click over this, if I click over here, for example, and I want another action, which would be, for example, on tap action. And now if I click on tap action, there is again no way to actually access this data, right? There is no way to access this data. But what I did actually is that I have this custom action. This custom action is actually getting a document, getting a document from Firebase. So what I'm only doing is that I'm saying I'm putting as a parameter the actual reference to the document, and the reference to the document it's only the slash and then the collection and then slash the UID or the ID of the document. And then here I'm checking, is this true or false? So if it's true and this screen needs to be reload, now the first thing that I'm doing is that I'm saying here that I'm sending the word. So I'm updating the local state word. I'm taking the word from the local state word, and then I'm updating the document. So I'm updating the document, and I say now, okay, now it's false. It's not true anymore. It's false, and the word will be actually the word that I'm getting from the local state. And then I'm stopping the periodic action, which is over here. So I'm just saying don't reload anymore, because at the end of the day I will reload this page and the periodic action will start again. In theory, I probably don't need this action, but probably it's a good thing to stop the periodic action when you don't need it anymore. So this is the whole workflow. I hope you understand it. If you have any questions, let me know. And this was actually how you can actually refresh this page. And the other thing is that the word cloud. So the word cloud, we actually had, as I said, we actually had a lot of two different ideas, and at the end of the day, we actually managed to do it with one other idea. So this is actually one of the ideas that we first, no, actually this was actually one of the first ideas that we actually tried to do. So basically we had like three ideas, and at the end of the day, we did this one because the client wanted us to do it this way. As I said before, that the client wants to people to randomly write words, but then decide this is not a good idea, and then we predefined words. So yeah, this is actually made up from us, or we try to made up the word cloud, and I can show you how we did it. We actually had 5 words, which is words from 1 to 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then every word that we have, we wrap it in a component. Why we did that? Because if you want to actually change the size, or change the font type, or change whatever we want to change about this word, we can actually simply change one component word, and it will change for all the words out there. Because the whole idea was that we will check which are the top 5 words, and from the top 5 words I can actually probably show you what was the first idea. So the first idea is to have words as a string, and then those words over here. So let me show you. For example, we have like this amount of words, like words as a string. For example, we can have it as a string, we can have it as a we can have it as a list of words. But the whole idea is that I output this as a JSON, and the JSON have only the words that are not repeated. So in the end of the day, we have the words that are only not repeated, and here we have the count. So for example, this word over here, the count of these words is 26. So you can see this word 26 times over this text text. And then this is the color, which will be changed based on the of the amount the word is actually showing, and this is the font that will also change. So we have this word, for example, it's 15, its count is the 15, so it's 15, so we have it 15 times here. This words we have it 13 times here, this word we have it 5 times, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. And then this is the actual code. I will, as you can see, it's a big code. I will just copy and paste it in GitHub because I don't want to bore you guys. But yeah, this is the code. If you want to stop and just look through it, I'll just briefly, slowly go through the code, but you get what is the idea of the code. So yeah, this was one of the ideas, and the other idea actually was to use a package, because there is a one package that you can actually use, and this package is called Flutter Scatter, and this is what you can do with Flutter Scatter. And then this was actually the first idea that we tried to do, and we actually did it, but as I said, the client then changed his idea. But also this is the working, I think you can see a preview of it. It's super, I don't know why it's showing in blue. It's super ugly because you cannot see anything. It's super hard to see, but yeah, in the end of the day, this is the working code for this package. This is the package, and this is the working code. So again, I will briefly scroll through this code if you ever wanted to use it. And then, as I said, I will post the codes in my Firebase. So just the code should be below this video. And then so we had 1, 2, 3 types of cloud words. As I said, the final one that we decided to do, or the client decided to do, is this one. And then this is the one that we built our own. I already show you that is this one over here, that we managed to build our own cloud words. And then we have the Lottie animation. So the client actually decided that it will be we can do it with only 5 predefined phrases, and we did it this way. So if you want to know how this screen is actually working, first of all, you saw that this screen, you saw the action flow in the editor. So we have 6 actions in total in order to reload the page, and we have stack. So this stack is, we're stacking all the Lottie animations, and we have 5 Lottie animations, which will be for those words over here. So we have, for this word, it's on the center top, and we have one animation. Then we have, for this word, this, which will be on the center top one, and we have in total 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with all the different phrases over here. Depends on the how many it's replied. So how many people choose this word. It depends on that, which word will be first. So the code that I'm using is this one. So it says if contains. So first of all, I have the text. So the text of all the words are actually coming from this sorted towards bar position. So if I go over here, you can imagine that I have a list of phrases, and this is the list of all the phrases. And this list of all the phrases, when I click run, the code that I wrote is actually getting back the URL of the Lottie animation, and it depends on, because I have, as I said, 5 phrases, I'm just returning which of the phrases is the first, it has the most of them. So you can imagine that the first phrase, the second phrase, the third phrase, the fourth phrase, and the 5th phrase. And if, for example, in this case over here, the third phrase is actually has the most, and that's why it's on position 1. So if it's in position 1 over here, I'm predefining this as, and I'm saying this, okay, then the first one will position 2, the second one will position 3, and the fourth one will position 4, and the 5th one will position 5. So those are predefined. Only this number is changing. It's changing. First can be here, first can be here, first can be here, first can be here, first can be here. It depends on which phrases is the top, that is the top chosen one. And then if I get back the string like this, I'm simply saying here I'm specifically predefine the values, because I know that if the first phrase it's the most popular one, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's for example, the example that I showed you, the test that I show you, it will be 2, 3, 4. Sorry, it's this one that I showed you actually. So it will be, yeah, so it's this one. So it will be 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. And this is predefined, as I said. So I wrote a simple custom function that is checking if this contains, so if the string that I'm getting, which will be the final path, if this contains, I did it like that because first of all, I wanted to use a set from value, and I'll use this value, the value that is coming from over here, I wanted to use it to set it over here. So I don't have like 5 different Lottie animations, but I have only one. But as I said, this didn't work, so I managed to do it with a stack. So I have stack with 5 different Lottie animations, and I'm getting which one to show using this simple custom function, which is I'm getting the text, and I'm getting the word. And now in my case over here, it's not a word, it's a phrase. And then I'm showing just a simple boolean. If this word contains if this phrase contains in this text, then make it, then return true. If it's not, return false. So this is the code. It's very simple code, as you can see. And then this is a test. So if I test, this should return true. And indeed it is. And if I test it with some other word that is not there, it returns false. So as I said, if this returns true, it will show you, in our case, it show the third one. So that's why, and that's how actually those are changing. The Lottie animation change because this, it's constantly refreshing. When you have a new choice, when you have a new person that is choosing something, it will actually show the correct Lottie animation. And then we have the bottom 5, and the bottom 5 are actually the animation which is showing when someone actually choose something. So when you choose something over here, you can see it now in a minute or a second, not in a minute, but this is the animation I'm talking about. And there are again 5 because we have 5 predefined choices. And the whole idea here is that, again, it's the same stack, and we have it on conditional visibility, and we have the same function if contains. So here we have the word. So it's actually this word is coming from the local state, and it's changing because, as I said, I'm changing the page, and that's why this time the local state is actually working. So I don't know if you understand it, but let me just say that one more time because this is important. you cannot actually expect to use local state over here and dynamically see and change information, and based on the local state to refresh a page, to do something on this page and refresh another page. With local state, this doesn't work, because local state, it's locked only to this page, and if this page doesn't change, which in our case it's with the onFlow action, onload action, then you cannot use the local state. You have to use Firebase in order for doing that. But because the page already changed and the local state updated, that's why I'm able to use the local state for the word. And I simply here say, I only use one word. I don't use the whole phrase because it doesn't matter, to be honest. I'm only using one word because there is one word, one unique word in every phrase. So in this example over here, I'm using dream. So if the dream contains in this phrase, then you show me this animation, and so on and so forth for all the 5 of them. And then we have another one, which is the shuffle list and choose a winner. So shuffle list, choose a winner. I showed you that one. Let me just close a little, just close the tabs. So the shuffle list, as I told you, it's as I showed you, it's over here. And let me show you how I actually manage to do it. So this is the shuffle list and what it's doing over here. So we have this button over here, which is, it's not a stack. They're not in a stack, but they could be, but it doesn't matter. If they're not in the stack, if you hide this button will take place of this button. So it doesn't matter if they're stuck or not in this particular situation. But let's see how you start actually the shuffling. So the thing that I do is update. First, I update the local state and I set it to true. So shuffling equals to true. I want to start the shuffling. And then here, the start periodic action, I will do it in every 10 milliseconds, which is, I don't know how many seconds. It's 10 milliseconds. It's super fast. As you can see over here, it's super fast. I don't think you can see any name. And then over here, shuffle names, it's actually the names that are shuffling. And this is coming from a custom function again. And this custom function, I can show you the custom function. It's custom action, not a custom function. It's a custom action. And this custom action, I only get the shuffle names. And first of all, I'm getting the users. So in my case, it's not the users. In my case, it's a users document. Yeah, I'm getting the users documents. And then I'm getting the random. So I'm getting a random index from the user documents. And then here, I'm saying when I get the random index from the user documents, I'm putting the name of the random document that I choose, so the random person that I choose, and then I'm putting the reference of this person, so I can actually know which person was choose before, because after that I will have to update some information of it. So that's the custom action that I'm using, and I'm using I'm using this also local update local state. So when I'm saying update local state, that means that every time every 10 milliseconds every 10 milliseconds I'm updating the local states of the shuffled names. And this is actually what this magic happened. It's because I'm updating this local state, is you can actually see all the names shuffling over here. And then this button over here, it says choose. So when you say choose, what it's doing, it's first of all, it's saying shuffling to false, so I don't shuffle anymore. And then it says stop the periodic action, which was every 10 seconds, every 10 milliseconds, if you remember. And then I'm updating the winner. So I'm getting the winner reference, which I assigned from the custom action, if you remember. And then I'm saying this guy now is a winner. And then I'm updating the total number of the winners to 1, increasing it by 1. And this is the total number of winners. So we have the winners equals to true, and then I'm getting the number of items. And that's how I'm getting the total number of winners. So that was about the shuffling list. Let me know if you know. Let me know if you have any questions. And then this part is downloading the CSV file from the Firebase collection. So if I go to the admin part, this is actually the download. This is actually the download button, and if I click over here, I managed to do it with a custom action. So if I click over here, this is the custom action, and where I'm supplying is actually a list of documents of type words. So I'm supplying the list of documents of type words, and this list of documents of type words are actually coming from this backend, and it's simple words, list of documents, and all the documents get me all the documents. And then if I click this button, as I said, this is the custom function that I'm using. So it's downloading the collection as SVC is the name of CSV, sorry, is the name of the custom action. And then I'm getting the query, so I'm getting the list of documents. So this is a list. And then I'm saying this is the node safety check. This is my field content. So in my case, I have name, phone, word, and date type. And here I'm combining all of them, and I'm creating a new line for every single document. I'm creating a new line, and then I'm getting the name, then I'm getting the phone, then I'm getting the word, and then I'm getting the date time, and I'm comma separating them. And then this is the name of my file, and this is, I needed to encode it. So encode the string from encode the string as a list int of UFT bytes. So I'm doing this, and then I'm putting this in a stream. So stream from interval, and I'm getting the bytes, and then this is the stream, and this is the download. So the package I'm using, actually, it's download, the name of the package. It's a very simple package. The only thing that I'm using in this package is download. It's called a method. This is the stream, and this is the file name. So that's how I did it. And this is the part of deleting all the data in Firebase collection. So if I choose this button and get to delete it, I'm using with a custom action. Again, I'm using a custom action. Delete bunch is the name of the custom action. Collection name is the name of the collection name that I want to delete. So I have, first of all, I have the no safety check, and then I have I'm getting the Firebase, which will be the database instance. Then I'm getting the collection reference, which I need, and then I'm getting the query snapshot for every single document. And then I'm getting for each document, get the document, that reference, that delete. So delete every single document in this collection name. And I have two collections. So one is users that I want to delete, and the other one is words. And the final thing that I wanted to show you, I think for me is the most important thing, is that take a document from a custom action. And we were taking the document from the custom actions from here, and you can click the open. And we'll click actually open. This is the custom action that I'm getting the document from. And this is simple. It's super simple. It's actually one line of code, but it's very important to know what you're doing over here. So first of all, getDoc is the name of the custom action. And the super important part is that you have to check the exclude from compilation. This is because right now FlutterFlow is working. It's not the optimal, so to say, work, but in the future, I don't think that you need to check that. And if you don't see in how you actually know that, if you don't see any error here, you don't need to check this button. But if you see this error, check it for now. But yeah, you need to, you get a document, you return a document, and in our case, it's a reload screen is the document that we're returning. And we have the argument that we're taking is the document reference. So this will be a document reference, and the document reference will be reload screen. And this is actually a feature which is actually returning, as I said, the reload screen record. So this is the reload screen, the document type is reload screen, and we are taking the document reference will be the doc refs. And this return the doc ref, this return the reload screen that get document one. So this is only one document. If you need more than one document, follow our live streams, or maybe I can make another video but only about that. And this is the actual doc ref that you are that you need in order to get this document. And then the simple thing is that you can use is that you get the action output variable, which will be the name of it. So it's, in my case, is doc ref. So I can use it over here, and I can just say doc ref and choose which type I can. You can see all the types of this, all the properties of this document. Sorry, and the only one that I can use currently is, because this is a condition, is the Boolean one. And you can see over here, and I have the reload. It's my Boolean. It's my Boolean type. Yeah. So. So what I wanted to say is what I wanted to show you is the reference actually. So if I go over here and go to the reference, so this is in load ref, and this is actually the reference. So it's slash the collection, in my case it's reload screen, and the ID of the document. So this is the document reference. If you're wondering what is the document reference, this is actually the document reference. So I'm passing this init load ref, and I'm passing this document reference to the custom action in order to get the document. But you can pass any document reference. You just need to change, of course, your type, the document type, and the document type that you expect to actually return, and the document type that you have as an argument. So that was all. Thank you very much for joining in. That turned out to be a 1 hour video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to the channel and comment if you have any questions, and let me know what do you want me to do next in my videos. If you have any question regarding FlutterFlow, let me know. So take care, peace, bye.